Hi guys, I'm Meredith with XT, and today we're talking with Brian about his 2015 JKU. You have the 17x9 Mickey Thompson Classic Baja wheels. You have 37 by 12.5 inch Cooper STT Pro mud terrain tires. And then you have a 4-inch Rough Country X Series lift with Fox IFP Performance 2.0 shocks. Overall, an awesome build. What made you choose this setup?
I know I wanted to go with the 37-inch tires, so I looked around some primarily on extreme terrain, looking at other builds, and saw that the 4-inch Rough Country would be very compatible with the 37-inch, and I decided to go with the long arm system for the trail riding, and it's worked out great for me so far.
Do you daily drive? Are you mainly off-roading?
I'm primarily a daily driver. The area I live in here, I'm part of a Jeep club, and we have a tremendous amount of trails in this area here, so it works out great.
So you have 17 by 9 Mickey Thompson Classic Baja wheels. What made you choose this wheel in particular?
One, I like the black look that goes with the black Jeep, and it wasn't anything too flashy, but it seemed kind of has an old school type of look to it with the round slots throughout it. So that's primarily why I went with that, because I'm more of an old school type person.
Why did you choose like a beadlock style over like a traditional wheel that doesn't have that?
Primarily went with that because when I am on the trails, anything where I get the Jeep off to the side where it's rubbing maybe on rocks and roots, I wanted to protect that tire and bead it a little bit more, so I went with that setup.
Why did you choose Mickey Thompson? Is there a particular reason why you chose that brand, or they just kind of had a wheel you like?
I've had Mickey Thompsons before on a previous vehicle. For the looks and durability and price, I weighed those three things together, and that kind of brought it to the top of the list out of a couple of others I was looking at.
And then why did you choose a 17 by 9 wheel? Did it have anything to do with the sidewall of the tire?
I love the way the 17.9 is for the setup. From looking at some of the other builds, I saw that a lot of other Jeeps, primarily, it seems they go with the 17.9. So that's the reason I went with that wheel size.
Now, speaking of the tires, again, you have the 37 by 12.5 R17 Cooper STT Pro mud terrain tires. Why did you choose this tire?
Actually, I've had this tire before, and I have got a lot of long life out of it, and it is very aggressive on the trail. It cleans itself well in the mud, and on the highway, it has a very quiet sound, even though it has an aggressive look, and the tire wears very well. I keep them rotated, but they wear very well.
So you mentioned before you were interested in a 37-inch tire, and that's why you chose the 4-inch lift, but what made you choose the 37?
The 37, I kind of went back and forth between the 35 and the 37, but on the trails, some of the ruts and stuff, there's times where a 37 is a lot better than the 35 as far as the ground clearance underneath, and I just like the larger tire as far as the looks of it, the aspect of that. So those are the reasons I went with the 37s over the 35s.
And then why did you choose a mud terrain over an all-terrain?
The mud terrain primarily just because of the looks of it. You know, a more aggressive look to it. I like that look.
And they sound like they perform really well off-road, right?
Oh yes, absolutely.
So you mentioned that they were pretty quiet. Do they have any other characteristics that you noticed in comparison to the stock tires? Are they bumpy? Are they smooth?
I get that question a lot. The 37-inch, along with the setup I have on the Jeep, it actually rides better now than it did when it was stock.
Did you have to recalibrate your speedometer when moving up to this 37s? That's a pretty big jump from the factory size.
Yes, I had previously purchased a Super Chips from Extreme Terrain, and it was easily done to go in there and reset the tire size, and it recalibrated the speedometer and everything for me.
And did you notice that it was sluggish before and then kind of picked back up after doing that?
Yes, I did notice that it was a little bit more sluggish before the calibration, and after the calibration, I could tell a difference in the throttle speed and the shift points going down the road.
So getting into the suspension, you have the 4-inch Rough Country X Series lift kit with the Fox Performance IFP 2.0 shocks. You said that it runs very similar, if not better than stock. Can you tell me why you chose that setup?
Actually, I went based off of a lot of the reviews I looked at. Once I got this set up, I did notice, especially with the box shocks, that hitting bumps on the road, they weren't near as dramatic. It seemed like the tire stayed in contact with the ground a lot more.
And then why did you choose the 4 inches? You said that you were thinking about the 37, you kind of had that in mind. Is that why you went with a solid 4? Why not any larger than that?
The 4-inch, I primarily went with that because with the 37-inch tires, it had a good setup as far as visual.
So I know with the 4-inch lift kit, give you a decent amount of room. Did you have any fitment issues with the 37?
No, actually, prior to the installation, I had went ahead and took off the factory fender wells and I replaced them with the smaller metal ones. One for a more aggressive look, and two to keep from that possibility of a tire rub.
How do you like the look with the 4-inch lift and the whole combination? Are you happy with that, or would you do anything different?
I am 100% happy with the setup of the combination of the 4-inch lift and the tires and wheels. I still have lots of plans for future purchases, but it will not be a lift or tire change.
And that's really good to hear. It sounds like you found the setup that works for you and it looks great at the same time. Again, you have the 2015 JK Wrangler Unlimited. You have 17x9 Mickey Thompson Classic Baja wheels. You have 37 by 12.5-inch Cooper STT Pro mud terrain tires. And then you have the 4-inch Rough Country X Series lift with Fox IFP Performance 2.0 shocks. Thank you so much for sharing all of your information and sharing your build with me today.
Absolutely, it's a pleasure to talk to you.
And for more videos just like this, remember to always keep it right here at extremeterrain.com.